Greetings, dear beautiful spirit soul that you are. I'm whispering because it's early up here at Castle Lake. And we have these little duckies in the pond behind that are having some breakfast. So it's really quiet and sweet. My topic is getting the most out of life. Getting the most out of life. People say, how's your day going? How's your day treating you? Well, a daze, D-A-Z-E, that's a confused state of being. And that's how you get the most out of life, is to realize you are life. Life is not something that happens to you. Your nature is eternity. Your nature is manifestation and creation. Your nature is love, is compassion, that none of these have any opposites. It's the absolute. And the absolute is who you are. You're not a relative being. You're not a duality person. This is not who you are. And in a duality reality, the most important thing is for you to stay centered and to know who you are and to be who you are under any and all circumstances and situations. So this whole thing about how you get the most out of life, or I'm going to just suck out everything from life, I'm going to get all of this stuff for me, and then you'll see someone like Jabba the Hutt, remember in Star Trek, big, the person just consuming everything, taking this in, and all the drink, and all the food, and all the places, and all the stuff, and all the everything. Sometimes you have to do that, to overdo, to get that you don't need to underdo or overdo. All you need is what you need, you see, in order for you to get the most out of life is to be fully who you are as life, you see. And when you realize that with real eyes, to realize is to have real eyes, is that you don't get anything from the outer. It all comes from you, your reactions, your state of mind, your emotions, your belief system. And I have this one cousin, few removed, beautiful, could sing, write music. She just calls herself stupid all the time. And just this a continual thing. And so the man in her life did the same thing. And you have to start to look at how your patterns operate, and to know thyself, and to how you get the most out of life is to be fully who you are without reservation. And that doesn't mean your mind. It doesn't mean your false reality. It doesn't mean the false ego. It doesn't mean the accomplishment, your degrees, how much money you have, how much stuff you have, how many shoes you have in your closet, when you realize all those shoes come from slaughtered, tortured animals. I did that. And you have to give over the guilt of all of the, what would you say, things that we've done. That, because we really weren't in our right mind. And we were going along to get along. We were believing the advertisements. We were believing all of the programming. We were involved in competition. Like in school, you're graded on a curve where you're already competing with other people. You don't compete. You don't need to compete. And so all the competition sets up the games that people play. It sets up in our mind, I want to be the best. I want to be the greatest. I want to get the most out of life. So we run around everywhere, trying to get the most out of life, and then feeling we don't have it because you're not getting the most from yourself. And the most from the self is that when it's like breathing. The going barefoot is important to get back into nature again. It's having your time alone without electronics. And you see how we and other people always stop running around asking everybody, what should I do? What should I do? What's this? What should I do? What should I do? Where should I go? You don't know. See, and so most people, they know what they don't want, and they're focused always on how bad it is out there and how these people, how bad they are, and all they talk about is how bad they are over and over again. Yeah, but what do you want? What are you going to focus on? What are you going to do? you see. So it all comes back to get the most out of life, you have to know you are life. And it's all an inner experience. And that inner experience is right when you know who you are. You can be in bliss. Bliss is not something you attain. Bliss is not, what would you say? La, la, la. No, it's not. Bliss is where you're not thinking. Because the thinking is torturing people. What will they think? What will they do? What are they going to be up to? And the games that we're playing, I'll get even over here. I'll get that person. That person bumped me off. That person told me I was ugly. That person told me I was too thin, too fat, too this, too that. You go, well, who are these people that do that? They're very insecure. You see, the envious always criticize and find fault. That's what they do. And I also noticed that these movie critics and critics like this are actors that couldn't get a job. So what are you going to do, criticize somebody else? So it's like when we're so fully occupied with gossip, so fully occupied with what they're doing and what they're doing. And it's also like, remember in Camelot, the musical, I wonder what the king is doing tonight. Why would you care? These people, it's like when you get the most out of life, is when you realize that all that you desire is who you are already. You're not evolving, you're already fully evolved. But what it is, most people have no knowledge of how the mind operates, how the intelligence operates. No, well, I went to school and they told me you got the conscious, the subconscious, the id, the wid, the ego, the bapa. These are all labels that fragment, make it confusing, and you got to have libraries full of information to tell you this and that and this and that. You're so proud of what you know, but you got to get back to who you are. And it's really two kinds of people really enjoy life. People who they call retarded, and then the others that are saints or fully because we're already evolved, fully realized spirit soul, self-satisfied. Self-satisfaction is where you, in the moment, no matter where you are or what's going on, you can be in the greatest joy and bliss and happiness and inner peace and power and creativity because it's who you are. So what I always realize, all the money that I have given for my own awareness. I always had a thing. If I felt like something I needed to do, whether it was a seminar, a retreat, a book, a class, or a location somewhere in the world, or whatever it was, when I felt called to it, I did it. He said, well, where are you going to get the money? How are you going to do that? I don't have anything. And so that people, if you really want something, you get it. You absolutely, if you wanted ice cream in the middle of the night, and you didn't even have a car, you'd either walk somewhere, right, call a cab, or we deliver. I mean, I'm telling you, when you really desire something, you can always have it and you could get it. And so the key then is to get the most out of life. It's to drop all of these limiting beliefs and concepts and to start peeling away everything that's been separating you from your own divine nature. And to create for yourself that your own world that is in harmony with your own divine nature. See, we're meant. See, all of what we call the troubles and the problems in the world, we say this is the way they are, and this is war is always going on, and the poor will always be with you. These are lies. These are suggestions. And how many people say, well, I'm intelligent, I believe all of this, and I know this is true, and that's fine. That's what you believe, that's what you have, then you get it. And so the real key is you've got to be really steadfast in who you are and know that you are life, and that whatever you desire, the happiness, the joy, the pleasure, it's with you right now. And when you harmonize yourself with nature, with your own nature, with who you are, then wherever you are getting the most out of life, because you are life, and life is ever ongoing, ever revealing, full of variety, full of spontaneity, full of the joy of your being. You are life.